Your company is already deciding who stays and who goes. Right now. Here is how you end up on the right list. Monday morning, 9:03 a.m. Your Slack goes dead quiet. Calendar invites start disappearing one by one. Then you see it, a company-wide email with the subject line organizational changes. Your stomach drops. Whether you've lived through this moment or you're dreading it, corporate layoffs are no longer something that happens to other people. From tech giants to legacy banks, nobody is immune anymore. But some people walk through layoff season untouched, and it's not luck. Today I'm going to show you what separates the survivors from the casualties. Most people get blindsided by layoffs because they weren't reading the signals hiding in plain sight. Hiring freezes are the first domino. When a company stops bringing people in, it's often preparing to push people out. Watch for sudden budget cuts on tools, travel, or training programs your team relied on last quarter. If your skip-level manager starts scheduling vague alignment meetings with no clear agenda, that's not collaboration, that's assessment. Companies like Meta and Salesforce showed us this pattern clearly in 2023. Months before the actual cuts, project roadmaps got quietly shelved and reorgs shuffled reporting lines without explanation. Pay close attention when leadership language shifts from growth to efficiency and doing more with less. Another signal people consistently miss: when consultants from McKinsey or Deloitte show up for operational reviews, layoffs almost always follow within 90 days. A 2024 report from Challenger, Gray and Christmas confirmed that companies announcing restructuring consultants made cuts within one quarter over 70% of the time. None of this means you should spiral into panic. But awareness buys you a head start that most of your coworkers simply will not have. Now here's a mistake almost everyone makes during uncertain times: they work harder instead of working smarter. Staying late, sending emails at midnight, volunteering for every meeting, none of that makes you layoff-proof. What actually protects you is being visibly tied to revenue or a critical business function that leadership cares about. Ask yourself this honestly: if you disappeared tomorrow, would anything measurably break? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, you found the problem. Start attaching yourself to projects that directly impact the company's bottom line or serve its biggest clients. Volunteer for cross-functional initiatives that put your name in front of multiple decision-makers, not just your direct manager. And document your contributions in writing. Keep a running list of problems you solved, money you saved, or processes you improved with specific numbers. When layoff decisions happen behind closed doors, they usually involve people 2 or 3 levels above you who have never witnessed your daily work. Your manager might fight for you, but they need concrete ammunition to make the case. The people who survive layoffs at companies like Google and Amazon aren't always the most talented on the team, they're the most visible and the hardest to replace without disruption. The worst time to start networking is the week you need a job. Yet that's exactly what most professionals do, and it shows. Start treating your career like an investment portfolio. You diversify before the market crashes, not after. Update your LinkedIn profile while you're still employed and still carry a title that opens doors. Reach out to former colleagues, not with "Hey, are you hiring?" but with genuine check-ins, shared articles, and real industry conversations. Build relationships well before you ever need to cash in favors. On the financial side, most career advisors recommend 3 months of emergency savings. I'd push that to 6, minimum. Layoffs in this economy often mean longer job searches than anyone expects. A Glassdoor study found the average time to hire in the U.S. stretched beyond 4 months in 2024. Trim unused subscriptions, delay major purchases, and quietly stack cash while your paycheck is still hitting. And this next part surprises people: develop a skill that sits outside your current job description. If you're a project manager, learn basic data analysis or SQL. If you're in marketing, get comfortable enough with product management to have that conversation. The professionals who bounce back fastest after a layoff are the ones who can pitch themselves for roles that didn't even exist when they were originally hired. Flexibility is the real job security now. If despite all your preparation, you still get the call, breathe. The first 15 minutes after hearing the news will be the most emotional of your year, and that is the absolute worst time to make any decisions. Do not sign anything immediately. Most severance agreements give you at least 21 days to review the terms, and you should use every single one of them. Read the fine print carefully on non-compete clauses, benefits continuation, stock vesting schedules, and any clawback provisions. If the severance package feels thin, negotiate. Companies expect pushback, and you often have more leverage than you realize in that moment. Ask for extended health coverage, outplacement services, or at minimum a neutral written reference letter. Something most people completely forget in the shock: request copies of your performance reviews and any written praise from managers before you lose access to internal systems. That documentation becomes absolute gold during your job search and in salary negotiations at your next role. One more thing, and I mean this sincerely: do not badmouth your former employer on LinkedIn or Twitter. It feels satisfying for about 30 seconds and haunts your professional reputation for years. The business world is far smaller than any of us think. Here's what I want you to do in the next 10 minutes, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Open a blank document and write down 3 things. First, the single most valuable project you've contributed to this year and the measurable result it produced. Second, 2 people outside your current company who would genuinely take your call tomorrow if you needed career advice. Third, your honest monthly burn rate, every dollar going out the door. That's your survival snapshot right there. If any of those 3 answers makes you squirm, you now know exactly where to focus your energy this week. Layoffs don't have to be career-ending moments. Some of the most successful people I know will tell you getting laid off was the painful push they needed to finally find something better. But that only happened because they were prepared before the storm hit. Take care of yourself, take care of your career, and I'll see you in the next one. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching. If this gave you one idea you can use today, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.